This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Time right now is 4:27 here on your Wednesday morning. We want to thank you for starting your day with us here at RTV6. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We begin with pedestrians downtown who are fed up with a sidewalk construction project that seems never ending. It has been under repair for months now.
Yeah, and this is a really busy area. We're talking about Capitol and Market Street. This is near Monument Circle. People are trying to get to the new red line. So a number of buildings, a number of people work right here in this area. So they're having to walk out into the street. So this is obviously a traffic hazard, if you will. A safety issue. Yeah, so we are talking with crews about when this will be done and if they have any solutions for this. So we're going to have that for you coming up here on Good Morning Indiana. Another story we are following, we're talking about a phone scam. We know that we're all getting these robocalls all day long, it seems like, and we want to help you protect your personal information.
Yeah, these scammers are claiming they will stop your Social Security benefits, and that can be awfully alarming for someone who depends on that for their day-to-day income. So we are giving you not only the warning signs, what these people are asking for, but we're also going to hear from the experts about if you get this call, it is not really anyone with the government. They are never going to call you. They're never going to ask for gift cards or cash or for you to wire them money. So this is something that you need to tell your entire family about. We often see the elderly being the target of these scams.
Yes.
So we want you to protect yourselves this morning.
And we're actually going to listen to what that'll sound like, which I think will be really helpful for all of you at home. Taking a turn now, we're going to bring in our own Alyssa Donovan and talk about our forecast for today. And Alyssa, we were just saying, there's not a whole lot to talk about.
There's not a ton to talk about, which is good news for everyone today. We are going to see that sunshine once again, dry conditions. We could see a little bit of patchy fog for areas to the north this morning, but besides that, mostly sunny skies. We have this ridge of high pressure in place, and that's going to continue to impact us today and into tomorrow. It's going to be a sunny, beautiful day, 86 degrees for the high, so we are above normal. Usually by now we're dropping into the 70s, so enjoy the nice weather while it's here, because we do have some chances of showers and storms as we head into the weekend.
All right, Alyssa, thank you very much. Finally, we continue our Hiring Hoosiers Classroom to Career series this morning.
And we're talking about supporting the trucking industry. This is a pathway to the transportation industry that our Aaron Lish is looking at. It's a program focused especially on vets, the underemployed, and the youth, getting them involved with technicians and working in the trucking industry. So we'll show you how you can get involved, maybe start this off as your career journey here, and that's part of our Classroom to Career series. So we're going to have more on that coming up, plus some information about job fairs where you can head today. That's right here on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Coming up on Good Morning Indiana, downtown pedestrians are being forced to walk in the street as a busy sidewalk has been closed for several months. What officials say about the construction project causing concern.
And local activists are calling for a Marion County prosecutor to issue an apology. The comments he made while announcing charges against an IMPD officer.
More restrictions could be added for scooters and skateboards in Carmel. Why the city says these new rules are necessary. It's 4:30 on your Wednesday morning. We have made it halfway through the week. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We have Alyssa Donovan with us this morning to talk about our forecast. And Alyssa, I would say this morning walking in, it was pretty nice.
It felt nice out. Not a lot of humidity out there. Almost a cool feeling, but not too cool. So it's going to feel good as you step outside today. And those temperatures are climbing into the 80s. Lots of sunshine. I know Todd's been talking about, we kind of sound like a broken record this week with just how nice it is.
Not a bad broken record to have, I suppose.
Not a lot to talk about, but that's the good news for you guys. Temperatures right now starting in the 60s and 50s this morning. We're at 57 in Kokomo, 66 in Indianapolis, and 66 in Bloomington. We have light winds right now out of the east, just about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So a very calm start to your day. We have those dry conditions, a little bit of patchy fog developing just off to our northeast. We're down to 4 miles of visibility in Muncie, so we could see a little bit of that develop as we head through the morning, but for the most part it's going to be a very quiet start to a quiet weather day. What's going on is we have this upper ridge of high pressure in place. That's going to stick with us today. Temperatures as you step out the door should be into the low 60s, a very comfortable start to the day, hitting the 70s by the noon hour as you're heading out to lunch, with just a chance of a little bit of cloud coverage for some of you southern counties by the afternoon today. Temperatures will climb climb today into the mid-80s, so we are well above average. Get outside and enjoy it because we do have some chances of showers and storms this weekend.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. We want to give you a live look right now from our INDOT traffic camera this morning. This is up in Fishers. Good morning to you. I-69 here at 96th Street. You can see there's orange barrels there. They're on the sides of the roads. Looks like they're pulled out of the travel lane, so no issues here to slow you down, both northbound and southbound. Great news for your commute. Let's take a turn right now and get a live look from our other INDOT traffic camera over to the northwest side of town, I-465 and West 46th Street. No crashes here to slow you down. Everything looks to be traveling up to speed.
RTV6 is getting answers for downtown residents who say a construction project has kept the sidewalk at Market and Capitol Avenue closed for several months.
Yeah, pedestrians walking to the Red Line, the Capitol building from Monument Circle, well, they have to walk into the street. Downtown residents say it's unsafe, and they've been making do for the past several months now. Officials say the sidewalk will likely stay closed. Construction is scheduled to be complete in late October.
I saw end of October in there and my heart sank because it was a decently accessible sidewalk to begin with. It was wide enough wheelchair users use this path regularly, and so I said it's so inaccessible the way it is now for people to have to cross the street.
It's been months and months. Now we're going into the end of October. Still unacceptable. Should have been done months ago.
Indigo says it is working to make the ramp ADA compliant, and as part of the Red Line street and sidewalk infrastructure work, they had to do that project. So if you have a problem and you need help getting answers, you can contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Your city or town may be getting more or less money than expected to fund road repairs. This is all due to an accounting error. According to Indianapolis City County Councilor Jared Evans, the state auditor discovered the mistake. It came in calculating how to distribute money from an account that's funded through fuel taxes, vehicle registration costs, and other transportation fees. This new information comes as the City County Commission to study infrastructure met on Tuesday night.
We think it's a positive impact for Indianapolis residents, so we're really excited about this. This is going to be additional funding for our roads and sidewalks and bridges here in Indianapolis.
Evans says the auditor is still working through the numbers. Other parts of the state could see a drop in road funding. A presentation will be made next month.
Well, this morning, Carmel is considering adding more restrictions on skateboards and scooters. They would no longer be allowed in Midtown, the Arts and Design District, and also parking garages under this proposed ordinance. Violators would be fined up to $100 for a first offense and up to $500 for subsequent offenses. RTV6 spoke to people on both sides of the issue.
We are receiving complaints about skateboarders being in our municipal garages. The publicly owned garages, they love that speed, but it actually creates a very dangerous situation, not only for them, but making drivers uncomfortable as well.
I really think that if you're going to put something like this down, like a ban, you need to provide other places for it to go.
Well, skateboarding is already banned in areas like the Carmel City Center, Civic Square, and Veterans Memorial and Rotary Plaza. There's a skate park at the Monon Community Center where skateboarding is allowed.
Local activists want the Marion County prosecutor to apologize for comments he made while announcing charges against an IMPD officer. Here's what he said.
When she was asked to leave the property, rather than doing so or talking in a calm manner with the IPS officer who was asking her to leave, she screamed, she yelled, she dropped F-bombs, she dropped MFers.
Terry Curry made that comment about the aunt of a teenager who was punched by an IMPD officer outside of Shortridge High School last month. The organizations IMPD Transparency, Answer Indiana, and Indy 10 Black Lives Matter released a joint statement calling Curry's criticism outrageous. The group is also calling on the prosecutor's office to not offer Officer Robert Lawson a plea agreement. He faces several charges this morning.
At 4:36, police are working to learn how a person ended up dead in a wooded area on the southeast side of Indianapolis. Officers were called to a tree-lined section of Shelby Street near the I-65 underpass just before noon Tuesday. Investigators say the person's identity, how they died, and how long their body had been in the area are all questions they don't have answers for at this time.
The man convicted in a deadly I-70 crash that killed an Indianapolis Colts player and his Uber driver has been sentenced in federal court for illegally re-entering the country. A federal judge sentenced Manuel Orega Zavala from Guatemala to 3.5 years in federal prison on top of his 16-year prison sentence from a state court. Investigators say Orega Zavala was in the country illegally at the time of the crash. He's also accused of having a blood alcohol content 3 times the legal limit when the truck he was driving crashed into a vehicle on the shoulder of I-70 near Holt Road in February of last year. The collision killed Colts linebacker Edwin Jackson, who was a passenger in the vehicle, and Uber driver Jeffrey Monroe.
Today, an Indianapolis woman will mark what would have been her husband's 58th birthday. She's not giving up hope that someone will share information to help catch her husband's killer. Curtis Wooden was shot and killed back in December of 2016 outside of an apartment near 21st Street and I-465 on the east side. It was shortly after he left home to buy lottery tickets. A memorial for Wooden will be held this evening at 6:30 on Little John Drive, where the shooting happened. His widow hopes it'll put the spotlight back on that case.
You already know about the benefits of donating blood, but you can also save a life by donating bone marrow. Riley Children's Health is hosting a bone marrow registry drive today from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bone marrow transplants are used to treat some cancers, sickle cell, and other diseases. But not all patients have family members who can donate, so they rely on strangers to help. It is so easy, just a swab of your cheek. Please go and help all these children.
Here at 4:38, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is on his way to visit Saudi Arabia after attacks on their oil facilities. Next, what the U.S. is doing to coordinate a response.
And more schools are looking to ban chocolate milk. After the break, why officials think this is a good idea and the health concerns some pediatricians have about the change. Alyssa.
And it's going to be another gorgeous day in central Indiana. Temperatures into the upper 80s. This is a stretch of very nice weather, and coming up, I'll tell you how long it's going to last.
Test drive at Honda of Fishers.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. 4:41 here on our Wednesday. We're keeping a close eye on traffic. No crashes in the downtown area to slow you down. This is I-70 at the North Split. We'll continue to monitor any issues and keep you updated for your Wednesday morning commute.
Here are some stories making national headlines today. Representatives from Facebook, Twitter, and Google will appear before a Senate committee today to address mass violence and extremism that's spread online. The meeting comes after recent mass shootings in New Zealand and Odessa, Texas, that were live streamed on Facebook. U.S. senators will be questioning officials from the tech companies about their digital responsibility. The companies will also share how they currently work with police when threatening content is found online.
Swedish teen activist Greta Thunberg will bring her campaign for urgent action on climate change to the House Foreign Affairs Committee today. The 16-year-old gained worldwide attention by inspiring protests and school strikes in Sweden and spoke at the United Nations Climate Change Conference last year. She met with Congress yesterday saying they need to try harder to fight climate change.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will be arriving in Saudi Arabia this morning to discuss the attack on Saudi oil facilities. U.S. investigators are already on the ground there trying to determine if Iran is responsible for the weekend attack. ABC's Elizabeth Hers in New York with the latest.
This morning, a team of investigators from the U.S. military in Saudi Arabia recovering and examining what one U.S. official says is compelling forensic evidence. That evidence, according to the official, collected from the debris of nearly a dozen cruise missiles and some 20 drones that targeted and hit the Saudi oil facilities.
They'll take things like flight control services and match them to known Iranian pictures of the cruise missiles they build.
A senior administration official telling ABC News there is enough information showing the weapons were fired from Iran. And now, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is scheduled to meet with the Saudi prince later today to coordinate a response to this attack. Iran has been accused of more attacks than ever since President Trump pulled out of the nuclear deal last year, including shooting down an American drone in June. At the time, Trump considered military action in retaliation, but backed off. It's a move the president is now defending on Twitter after one of his close allies, Senator Lindsey Graham, tweeted the measured response was clearly seen by the Iranian regime as a sign of weakness, to which President Trump responded, "No, Lindsey, it was a sign of strength that some people just don't understand." As for those initial concerns about gas prices here in the U.S., possibly jumping as much as 25 cents a gallon in the coming days, well, that fear could be short-lived, with Saudi officials announcing that 50% of its oil processing plant that was affected by the weekend attack has already been restored. Elizabeth Hur, ABC News, New York.
SpaceX is now trying to expand its private space travel operation to the internet. The company is aiming to beam internet across the southern U.S. by late next year. Its ultimate goal is to become one of the world's largest internet providers. To do this, they would have to deploy a constellation of thousands of satellites called Starlink to provide broadband from space. The FCC hasn't yet given SpaceX the go-ahead to reconfigure satellites.
At 4:45, heavy rain is falling across parts of Texas this morning as tropical depression Imelda made landfall. The storm could give the Houston area the heaviest rain since Hurricane Harvey back in 2017. Imelda hit Texas yesterday, and it's slowly moving north at about 7 miles per hour. It reached tropical storm status, but has since been downgraded to a tropical depression. The heavy rain and dangerous flash flooding is expected to last through the rest of the week. And Alyssa, back here at home, we really haven't seen a lot of rain in a while, it seems like.
Yes, it's been a nice streak of weather, and we're going to continue that as we head into today and into the weekend before we see some changes late Saturday night. So we are in a pleasant stretch of weather right now. We do have a cooler start to today. Temperatures in the 50s in some areas to the north, right in the low 60s here in Indianapolis. Then we do have those storm chances as we head into late Saturday night into Sunday, lingering into Monday. Right now, though, very cool start across the area. We are in the 50s right around Tipton, 66 right now in Indianapolis. We could see those temperatures drop a little bit yet this morning just because we have those clear skies, no clouds to insulate us from that dry air that's over the area. We do have a little bit of patchy fog developing as well for some of you northern counties right around Muncie. We're already down to just about 1.5 miles of visibility, and we're continuing to see that decrease. So just be aware of that. Areas that do see some of that patchy fog sometimes could see that this morning just as we have a little bit of moisture in the air developing. High pressure ridge over the area right now. That is sticking with us over the next few days, keeping us very dry and warm. We're going to continue to see those temperatures climb quickly today just because we're starting with those clear skies. So as you head out the door this morning, temperatures will be right in the low 60s right around 8 a.m. as you're heading out. And then as we hit the noon hour, if you're heading out for lunch, temperatures will climb into the upper 70s. So we're climbing fast today with those temperatures, and then we'll climb into the upper 80s this afternoon. We could see some high clouds later today, especially around some of the southern counties, but most of us are just going to continue to see a lot of sunshine. That's going to stick with us tomorrow and Friday, and most of Saturday. We'll see a little bit more cloud coverage on Saturday, and that's just ahead of a front that's going to move through. As it does, it'll bring us just a chance of some overnight storms Saturday into Sunday. Our better chance of storms comes Sunday afternoon. Temperatures will drop off as that cold front passes, and we do have the potential of quite a bit of moisture associated with that system. So if you're making some weekend plans, Saturday is going to be the best day to get outside, with Sunday seeing the potential of some spotty showers and storms. Today, starting cool, temperatures in the low 60s will climb into the 70s by the noon hour. Mostly sunny skies, 86 for the high. So a gorgeous day on tap, and that sticks with us tomorrow and Friday. Temperatures climbing really warm tomorrow. Again, we're usually in the mid 70s by now. We'll be close to 88 degrees Thursday, staying in the 80s on Friday and Saturday before we see those temperatures dropping back off on Sunday with that passing cold front and some chances of showers and storms.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. We want to give you a live look at traffic right now. Right now, the good news is we don't have any issues to report around the metro area. Taking you out here to I-70, a little west of Cumberland Road, and traffic is moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound there on the interstate. So no issues to slow you down. Let's take a look at our traffic now map and plan out your commute. Heading southbound from the northwest side of town, a 17-minute commute from I-865 in the Dog Lake to I-70 at the North Split. Taking a look over here, drive times for your commute if you're heading through Hamilton County southbound on I-69. We're starting you all the way back at State Road 13, taking you to the I-465 ramps. It is a 13-minute commute at this hour, so that is traveling up to speed. Let's take another live look right now outside. This is I-465 near Sam Jones Expressway on the west side of town. You can see lots of headlights out that way, but the good news is everything is traveling up to speed. We'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads.
Jeopardy's Alyssa Alex Trebek says he is still battling stage 4 pancreatic cancer. The popular quiz show host revealed that his doctors are ordering him to undergo chemotherapy once again. Trebek says he lost 12 pounds in 1 week and his numbers went, quote, sky high, prompting more treatments. He announced the end of his first round of chemo last month and returned as Jeopardy host for its 36th season. The new season began airing earlier this month.
With obesity being a growing problem in the U.S., many places are making efforts to limit sugary drinks, but now some schools are considering banning chocolate milk. The New York Department of Education is thinking about the ban, citing that chocolate milk actually has double the sugar of regular milk, while other areas across the country have banned this drink. San Francisco made the change back in 2017 after testing it in schools. Washington, D.C. schools saw backlash when they banned chocolate milk in 2011. Some health professionals had concerns about kids missing out on calcium and vitamin D.
I do agree that having some calcium, some milk, is better than no milk, even if there is a little bit of added sugar. But I think that the more that we can move towards eliminating all of the extra sugars, it's going to be better for our kids in the long run.
Cornell studied the effects of the ban in 2014 and found that students on average consumed less sugar and fewer calories, but they also consumed less protein and calcium.
A sticky situation as thousands of pounds of Nutella was spilled across an Indiana highway. Coming up, the crash that caused the chocolatey mess.
And coming up at 5 o'clock, Call 6 investigates a new twist on an old phone scam. The Call federal investigators are warning you about. That's just ahead. But first,
I'm Vinny Politan. Coming up today on Court TV, day 2 of the corn rake murder trial. Millionaire hog farmer Todd Mullis is accused of taking the life of his wife, who prosecutors say was cheating on him. Well, today in court, we expect the victim's lover to take the stand. We're live in Iowa today on Court TV.
And don't forget, you can watch the all-new Court TV live on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. We'll be right back.
Iguanas for just $2.29 a month.
Welcome back. It is 4:55 on your Wednesday, and traffic is picking up over on the northwest side, I-465 and West 56th Street. All lanes are open, both northbound and southbound. No crashes here to slow you down.
A sticky situation on an Indiana highway as thousands of pounds of Nutella was spilled on the road. A semi-truck carrying 44,000 pounds of the chocolate hazelnut spread crashed on I-94 near the Indiana-Michigan state line Monday night. The driver said he swerved to avoid hitting the car in front of him, and then he crashed into the median barrier. The truck ended up on its side, spilling the Nutella. The driver was not hurt, but the wreck did shut down the highway for more than 2 hours. Wonder if anyone brought out a piece of toast there.
Yeah, spoon.
To get a little scoop of Nutella there.
Oh, yeah. Well, a rare sight is going to be on display in central Indiana today. Snowbirds. The Canadian Forces Snowbirds flight demonstration team will headline an event at the Columbus Municipal Airport. Columbus is one of only 11 cities in the U.S. that will host the Snowbirds this year. The event is called Birds and Brews. It's free and open to the public. The activities start at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and it includes kids activities, a beer garden, parachute jump, and a hot air balloon glow. That looks like fun.
You know, speaking of snowbirds, you know, the snowbirds here in Indiana, they are not retreating to Florida or Arizona anytime soon.
They're like, oh,
because
is this
we
Florida?
have summer forever, apparently.
Yeah, it feels like summer still. Looks like summer.
Yep.
You're going to walk outside and you're going to say it's still summer, and it feels like it's going to go on forever. Temperatures today in the upper 80s, mostly sunny skies, and look at that. That is sticking with us into the weekend. Upper 80s again. Usually we are into the 70s by now, but not quite yet. We'll reach the 70s eventually in the 7-day forecast, but we do have those chances of showers and storms over the weekend on Sunday and into Monday. 70s eventually by Monday.